welcome back. Joining the Odd Squad is clinical psychologist and founder and executive director of the Center for Emotional Health, Dr. Marla Deibler. Thanks so much for joining us. We need some help here. We need to figure out this whole texting thing. So, let's start off, and I want to get some input from the entire Odd Squad, but let's start off with relationship texting. I mean, my feel is that if you're going to text, you really don't want to be in the relationship because you can easily just end it that way. But what are your thoughts?
Texting is a great way to communicate, though. It's a new way to communicate. It's a great way to send a brief, concise, clear, quick, goal-directed message. So texting is actually a really helpful thing in relationships. But if you have something longer to say, a story, a discussion to have, better to do that in person.
Okay, all right. Rick, some thoughts?
I can clearly go by that rule.
First of all, texting in a relationship, I'm against texting in a relationship.
I know, we already know that. Completely out of the picture.
Listen, what's with all of you? Don't text, because if you don't get back to a girl right away, all of a sudden she feels like you're ignoring her.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so don't text me. If you have something to say, talk to me. Maybe I'm busy. That's why you're texting. Because we're not in the same place. You can't. No, I'm against it.
All right, so what about, let's get your thoughts, Anton, on sexting?
First of all, let's get your thoughts, Gail. What is sexting?
I'm going to let the doctor explain that.
No, Gail. What do you think sexting is?
I'm going to let the doctor explain it.
Gail doesn't know.
Okay. I do know.
What is
you
sexting?
send pictures to each other. You're not in the same place.
Oh, okay. I thought you thought sexting was something else.
Texting while you're having sex. Like, oh my God, this feels so good. F me, F me.
No. Go ahead, doctor. So what's the deal with sexting?
Sexting. Well, in general, coming from an older generation, it really isn't a good idea to put anything out there that you wouldn't want for public consumption. So if you're going to send a message that could be construed as inappropriate, that you wouldn't want to be out there for everybody to read, you really should refrain and save it for personal use.
Okay. Rick?
As a guy, it's tough because it's really hard to get like a good picture because it's just a nightmare down there for guys. So
obviously, you've tried it.
Yeah. You need like 30 pictures to get the right lighting and the right angle, and it just never works out. It just never works out.
Start a blog.
I think I live in the New York City area, and one of the candidates running for mayor is a very popular sexter, if you will, Anthony Weiner. And I find that he's using his cell phone. He's probably getting more use out of his cell phone for what he pays for it. So at $99 a month, you ought to do more than just talk on it and text.
So sexting is okay. Texting is not okay.
You can do whatever. If you have a cell phone that takes pictures, why not? I mean, what are you using your cell phone for? Talking? Come on.
All right. How about fighting through text, Rick?
I think it works out in my favor most of the time because if I'm like, oh, I hate you, you're just like your mother, get it all out through text, and by the time I get home, it's like, oh, hey, babe, how you doing? It's like it never happened.
So no yelling, no screaming, no throwing things.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little less violent.
Dr. Deibler, what do you think?
Any kind of emotionally charged interaction that you have with someone is really better to do in person. I mean, written communication of any kind can be easily misinterpreted. I mean, we've all found ourselves reading and rereading texts or emails to figure out, is this person joking? Are they mad at me? Are they being serious? How do I respond to this? It's much better to do that.
Doc,
verbally.
if I may. You should, if you're angry with someone, you should text. That way you can get your full thoughts out without being interrupted. So it is, as you said earlier, an effective way to communicate, concise and direct to the point.
As long as you're logical and not emotional when you're doing it and you're being clear with what you're saying, but that's where it's difficult, right?
It doesn't get lost in textlation.
All right, what about telling your parents bad news?
Oh, I love telling my parents bad news in person.
But not text?
Not text, because my mother she's hysterical, okay? She'll get hyper. So I start off like, Mom, I got good news and bad news. Then what do you want first? She'll always say, I want the bad news first. And then I give her the bad news. Then she says, what's the good news? And I go, well, there's no more bad news. You see? You can't do that over text.
I love telling my mom bad news via text because she's kind of old and still can't figure out how to use her phone. Like last week I gave her the bad news that I was going to be on the show and she still has no idea. Sorry.
Isn't it a great way though? You can document. If it's, hey, I told you about it, send you the text.
True.
Dr. Deibler, quick, give me a quick thought on that in terms
Bad
of
news
parents.
is so hard to deliver, whether we're texting or whether we're talking to someone. And it's really best to just kind of put it out there, to be clear, to be honest, don't be guarded, don't be upset. Just have a discussion.
Doc,
Beautiful. Yeah, you gotta hang us. Shut up. Shut up. We're gonna go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back with Pastor Fail with Gail.